I still send them out though. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. So the first thing we're going to talk about is there is a British paranormal. Actually, let me back up here because the headline is very important. So this was in The Sun, one of Britain's magazines. Again, a brilliant headline. I gotta love these headlines. This is about paranormal activity being more heightened during the heat wave, the current heat wave that's going on. The headline of the article: Who you gonna cool? Who you gonna cool? I mean, you gotta tip your hat. You gotta tip your hat to these reporters and these editors who are coming out with these catchy headlines. I think it's becoming a lost art. You have to give props to these old school headlines because now all of the headlines are so clickbaity. And the headlines tell us what opinion to feel when you're reading the article, and why it's awful, and why it's beautiful, and why it's great, and why it's important. Let me decide. But all the headlines nowadays are becoming clickbaity. Who you gonna cool? That's a great headline. So hats off to you, son. However, I do have to deduct points for writing the article in the first place. So basically, this is the premise of this article, that because of the heat wave, there has been an unexplained spike in ghost sightings, according to this ghost hunter. So this ghost hunter is professional paranormal investigator Gary Parsons, said that ghostly apparitions have been summoned by the scorching sun. And he's like, I don't know why. He goes, I have this device that we've invented that can pick up ghost noises, and we're seeing a lot of more ghosts. So here's one of his quotes. We have received a major spike in the number of calls during June and July, with people reporting scary supernatural phenomenon. Why? What? Why are you defining it as scary? Like, yes, ghosts by their general nature is scary. But you never hear a physicist being like, black holes are super spooky. Like, just be like, yeah, you don't have to throw scary and spooky and all sorts of stuff. He does that a couple times in here. I think he uses the word haunting at one point. Oh, later on he goes, he's talking about this box he made. So of course they're selling it. He says it is designed to search out unexplained orb lights, eerie voices, and deadly spirits. Just come on, man. You're not doing your profession any good when you have to use adjectives like that. It's hard to take you seriously when you use words like spooky and eerie. So he's saying that ghostly activity is spiking during the summer. He doesn't know why, but they're being, in his words, summoned by the scorching sun. This is one of my issues with ghost researchers, is that it's all guesswork. It's all guesswork why any of this stuff happens. If you were a ghost, why would you most likely come out during a heat wave? As opposed, like, let's say, actually, here's a better question. Where do ghosts go when they're not ghosting? Where are the paranormal? Because you assume they're not in heaven or hell because they would stay there. So what actually are ghosts doing when they're not walking down your hallway? Do they exist? Do they go off to some, like, ghost resort? Is it, like, super cold there right now? And that's why they're coming out to the sun now? These are quite, and actually, I never thought about that. These are kind of legitimate questions you have to ask people. Where do ghosts go when they're not walking down your hallway, or having spooky conversations with you, or standing in the mirror? Where are they? I don't know, because I've actually never even thought about that before. I've always wondered, though, why ghosts wear clothes. And why ghosts wear clothes that they didn't necessarily die in. Most people die in their underwear, or naked. So why are Victorian ghosts wearing these, like, beautiful ball gowns and stuff like that? Why aren't there more naked ghosts? Why aren't more ghosts wearing boxers with holes in them and, like, a Walmart, a Walmart Journey shirt? Because that's how most people die. Most people don't die in a neatly pressed Civil War uniform. Yeah, of course. Okay, maybe that's a bad example because a lot of people did die in Civil War uniforms. But not everyone died in their Victorian costume or their regal clothes. So do you die? Do you haunt in the clothes you're most familiar with? Like, if I saw the ghost of, like, an old gothic dude, would he be wearing his trench coat and, like, 10-inch heel boots or those thick soles with all the spikes? Or would he be wearing his, white tank top and no shorts because he died on the toilet? To me, those are more questions that we need answers to rather than is the sun summoning ghosts. But anyways, if you know the answers to any of those questions, hit me up. Because I don't. Why do ghosts wear clothes at all? Anyways, where do ghosts go when they're not haunting? So anyways, and I have a logical explanation for this story. So he's saying that during June and July, ghost sightings are up. He's being called out to more locations. The author of the article says, if you see a ghost, give us a call. And he's doing all these investigations during the summer. Now, I think kind of the typical idea is that ghosts come around at night. And really, like, the fall and the winter, for me, are like the scariest time for ghosts. I'm never like, oh no, it's 90 degrees out and there's people windsurfing on the river. There might be a ghost tonight. Like, there's certain elements of time where things get spookier. It gets darker earlier. All the trees look dead. Streets are quieter because you don't have all, like, the tourists. I live in a tourist town, but, there's a time period where things are quieter and creepier. And to me, I'm a little more on edge during fall and winter than I am during the spring and summer. Okay, let's put it this way. If I'm out at the beach in my shorts and like an inner tube around my waist and a little like sunblock on my nose and basically look like a character from an 80s movie going to the beach, and I saw a ghost on the beach, that's not scary. That's completely not scary. If it's sunny outside and I'm like, oh man, it's so hot, and I'm like working in my garden and I look up and there's like a butler standing there, a ghost butler, not a real butler, a ghost butler standing in my garden, I'll be like, dude, grab a rake, bro. Like, it's hot out here, and I just want to get back inside as quickly as possible. There's a ghost blocking your air conditioner. You're like, God damn it. Get out of the way, man. It's not scary. It's not scary during the summer. And here's my reasoning for why this article's coming out and why this guy's saying that it's been a spike in the summer. Summertime, people don't read as much. People don't listen to podcasts as much, honestly. People have a completely different set of activities during the summertime. And there are people who read during the summer, but generally when I was a writer, you would see drop-offs during the summer months because people do stop buying the amount of volume of books. They're out doing more things. I think that's what's going on here. He's realized, oh crap, it's the summer slump. I'm not going to get as much business. People aren't going to call me up to tell me that their Aunt Judy is floating around their kitchen. Or maybe I'll start telling people that the summer sun is making ghosts appear. So he's basically just drumming up business. Now, I know you could be saying you have no proof of that and you're kind of disparaging them. And sure, probably. However, and not probably, yeah, that's absolutely right. I have no proof of what I just said. However, just knowing the way that the economy works, and sometimes you need to pay bills in the middle of the summer, because here's the fact of the matter. The sun is not summoning spooky spirits to invade your cabana. That's just simply not happening. Not happening at all. So the idea that this guy has legit proof that the summer sun is summoning ghosts is just ridiculous on the face of it. It really, you could say that ghosts in general is ridiculous, but let's say that you were a haunting apparition who died brutally, or you were just a haunting apparition who tripped down the stairs. The point of being a ghost is kind of to be scary, and there's nothing less scary than the noonday sun. And you could say, yeah, but it gets hot at night too. But yeah, at that point, okay, imagine it's cold and you're huddled in your living room and you're reading a book and you see like a little ghost girl like creeping around the corner. You're going to be freaked out. If it's 100 degrees, and you're just sweating your balls off and you're super irritated and everything pisses you off because you can't get comfortable. You got 4 fans on you, the air conditioner's running top speed, and you're still sweating. You see a ghost girl crawl around the corner, you're not going to care. Because you probably kick the shit out of it because you're so irritated anyways. Absolutely irritated. And now you got some creepy 12-year-old singing lullabies in your bedroom while you're trying to sleep. And you can't even sleep because you're covered in sweat. So I think if there are ghosts, and they are like spooky ghosts as he's claiming, the last time they're going to show up is when you're already ready to like beat the crap out of somebody. They'll be like, I'll come back later. I'll come back when he's totally comfortable and like falling asleep. And then I'm going to like crawl under his bed sheets and like forget that example, that particular example. You know what I'm saying. There's a time and a place for ghosts to scare you. And it's not during the summer. And if the ghost is just trying to communicate you, when's the worst time to talk to somebody? When they're sweating. If I'm sweating and my mom calls, I'm like, I'll call her back. I'm not talking to someone when I'm losing a liter of water a minute. So if my Aunt Judy wants to float back from the netherworld to warn me about the coming apocalypse, don't do it under the noonday sun. He's drumming up business. He's drumming up business to sell his box. He calls it the Huff Wonder Box, which again is a terrible name. If you put wonder into... Okay, I've trashed this dude enough. Great headline, though. Great headline. That was a clip from our daily podcast, Dead Rabbit Radio. Dead Rabbit Radio is available anywhere that you listen to podcasts. It's daily paranormal, conspiracy, and true crime news. If you want to hear the full episode that this clip came from, check the link below. Please like and subscribe. And hit that little bell, too. That does some magical stuff. Thanks, guys.